Hello, welcome to the third video of the channel. Now, this video did intend to be a video on my whole gym setup before I look to move. I'm going to be moving to a bigger, it's going to be a shed instead of a garage, but it's going to have a lot more room. It's going to be a lot cleaner and neater. And I was going to do a video of this whole one before I moved, but I thought, do you know what? Let's save the whole gym video until we move into the new place, have an exciting new video. But what I did want to talk to you guys today about was building a power rack and building that setup to start you off on a budget. When we talk about budgets, we've got to be, you can go a lot less. You could just get some adjustable dumbbells and a bench, but I want to talk about building a system that's going to give you a lot that you can fit in. You may need to have somewhat of a space, but you know, a small garage, a small shed. If you've got something along the lines of 10 foot, you can probably squeeze this in. You can move about. Today, I'm going to be showing you my rack. I work on a budget rack. I've bought most of my equipment on budget, buying and selling. The best thing I can say to you guys is get on Gumtree, get on Facebook, keep an eye on there because there are some bargains. Today you're going to see my Myra Fit rack. It's an old style M1 that's discontinued, but I got this practically for free. I got a bulk of stuff, I sold some other bits on, it pretty much paid for itself. I've had it resprayed. Myra Fit, guys, if you're looking for a budget brand, these tend to be one of the best that for a budget, but also give you some sort of quality equipment as well. I couldn't recommend them any more than I can. If you're going for a bit more higher quality, then you can go above there, and we will touch on some of those in some later videos. But for now, I'm going to get to talking about the Myra Fit rack and the attachments and the things that I've done to the rack to make it a bit better and where you can kind of get these things from. Okay, so this is the Myra Fit M1 rack. So firstly, like I mentioned previously, I got this at a bit of a bargain. Now, these racks are brilliant. They're brilliant for space. They're brilliant for versatility. You've got your power rack. You've got your exercise you can do on the outside. You've got your chin-up bar at the top, and you've got your cables. Now I'm going to touch on a few things, but I got this rack at practically nothing. I got it powder coated to give it a nice black finish for like £50 from a local provider. Took him a little bit of time because he was chucking them in with stuff, but you can pick these bargains up. But a few things to talk about. So, firstly, this old style was designed for standard plates. I've run this with some Olympic sleeve adapters, had them powder coated as well, and now I can run my Olympic plates, which brilliant for that. Another little purchase, the dip bars. These were picked up on eBay for £20, delivered next working day delivery. Now, you can get a number of attachments, and I will show you some, but the important thing to know is what size your frame. So the frame on this is a 50 millimeter frame. Now they do, the more sturdy ones go up to 60. I haven't personally seen any above that, but when you'll be looking for attachments, anything that's basically fits a 50 mil by 50 mil, you're gonna fit. So I got these, brilliant. It adds that attachment there. The other thing I got, which was from Rival Strength, next to nothing on Home Gym Community with Home Gym Community discount, is the J cups. These make the lifting a lot better than the standard cups that you have on there. So these J cups were about 20 odd pounds. They're brilliant as well, so they're a good addition. One of the big additions though is with your cable machine. There's a couple of bits actually. If I try and zoom in here, the one thing you find with the cable is that you are restricted on certain exercises, such as face pulls, because it hits on the top here. The other thing you're restricted is a single pulley exercise. So what I want to do is create this into a dual pulley exercise to some degree. It isn't individual, but I wanted to be able to do flies to a certain degree. So what we do here is we've bought two cable pulleys. These cable pulleys came with a loading pin, so if you wanted to create separately, and it came with it came with a rope, a tricep rope in each one, so you know you can get those, sell them off for what you need to. I kept one as a spare, sold a couple on, because I had some already. I bought the handles for like, I think they're about £10. So what you do is, you attach pulley to the top of the frame, and then you run that down. I've got chain just to extend it slightly because I found it's better with a bit of extension, but then the chain goes on there. This then does the same on the other side and allows you to create a it's kind of like a dual pulley system there as well, which that really helps a lot. You can do it vice versa from up down as well. So if you want to do exercises that are coming up, you can strap them on the bottom. So yeah, they're really, really helpful. These bars come with the safety spotter bars as well. So all in all, this type of rack, you can see what you can do. There's other attachments you can add. I've been looking at jammer arms, however, I do have the Myra Pro leverage system, so there isn't a huge need for me to get any leverage arms, but you can see the versatility you add with something like this. And so when we're talking about versatility, the other thing I want to talk to you about is getting yourself a landmine. This thing is great, guys. Absolutely fantastic. The landmine sits under anything really. That's got a 60mm box junction there, but it can sit under all sorts of things. This particular one can use Olympic or standard barbells, and it doesn't just add T-bar rows, guys. What I want to show you is a little bit of equipment. It's called an eyelet. Now these aren't that cheap. These are about 30 quid for this little bit. I couldn't find it any cheaper. However, this little bit of equipment is fantastic. This sits on your bar and allows you to add any attachment that you would use for your cables to here. So when you then get a little bit experimental, guys, you can add all sorts of attachments or exercises, upright rows, bicep curls, by just doing things like that. So really, really good. Coming back to us on budget now. So what I want to talk about is budget. This is building a rack on a budget. This thing has cost next to nothing and adds so much. The other bit I want to talk about is a Hardcastle bench. This bench is brilliant. This bench was £99 brand new. Now, I believe they're shutting down. However, from what I've heard, this company is the same as Myra Fit. You can buy the Myra Fit bench. It's a slightly bit more. It looks a bit nicer. It comes all in black. But for a £99 bench, this is a solid bench for that price. And lastly, the other bit I want to talk about is the plates. A lot of people talk about good plates. You might want to go for calibrated plates to get them perfectly the same weight. I've never been one to care about things like this. I'm old school. I went for the hex plates, made my storage here, literally furniture legs, store them on the wall. These hex plates from Argos and were let on offer less than £2 a kilo. So these are a fantastic for a budget. When you want a budget setup, you can get a ton of these brilliant bits of equipment. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. That was a really quick video. I just wanted to kind of talk through some options you have. You know, you don't even have to paint something like this. I got a good deal on it. I painted some of the other bits with matte black that aren't going to get hit a lot, so I could do it myself. It didn't need to be powder coated. It looks a lot nicer. Everything in here is matte black. I've also gone for full rubber mats. They're not even down fully. You might see them in the video. That's because I'm not cutting these or anything. I'm saving them from a new unit. But the PowerRack as a whole is a good bit of equipment. If you really wanted to, you could bolt this into the floor. You can have it going up against the wall, all sorts of things to make it more solid. But personally, unless you're lifting some seriously heavy weight, I found this is a great rack. I've had 200 kilograms on this and it's had a little bit of wobble, but it can handle it pretty well. If you're throwing weights down and you're doing the type of exercise that you really need to just fly into it, yes, it might not be perfect. I'm a bodybuilder, I'm not a powerlifter, I'm not a strong man. I do very controlled sets, so if you're doing the same type of training as me, this bit of equipment is brilliant. It's a brilliant bit of equipment. It's so versatile. When you add your dual pulleys, you can do pretty much any sort of cable exercise. You add your landmine, you can then add all of that as well, and you can fit this in a small space. 10 foot by 10 foot would be more than sufficient space. You may be moving about a little bit to move things about, but you can buy a shed for next to nothing for that, guys. So if you have any questions on it, then let me know. The next bit of equipment I'm going to be doing is my review on the Myra Pro leverage system. I think I said previously that's what I wanted to do. It's not one I've got around to, but it will be the next one coming. And then after that, we'll be moving, guys. We'll be ready. So there'll be a full video tour of the new purpose-built shed that's been built for me. 20 foot by 15 foot, I believe. So I'm going to have a lot more room, some big mirrors going up. Exciting times. So stay tuned. Hit the subscribe and the like bell. Thank you.